This video is for educational purposes. Welcome to a capital city whose story goes back at least 3,000 years. A city where history and modernity share center stage. In Beijing, you'll find a wealth of history, both ancient, the Hall of Preserving Harmony, Summer Palace, Forbidden City, and more recent, Chairman Mao Memorial Hall, Tiananmen Square. For the best market experience, choose the dirt market over the touristy silk market. A visit to the Great Wall, the longest man-made structure in the world, is absolutely essential. Kindly subscribe to this channel and share this video with your friends and families. Beijing is the capital of the People's Republic of China. With over 21 million residents, Beijing is the world's most populous national capital city as well as China's second largest city after Shanghai. It is located in northern China, and is governed as a municipality under the direct administration of the State Council with 16 urban, suburban, and rural districts. Beijing is mostly surrounded by Hebei province with the exception of neighboring Tianjin to the southeast. Together, the three divisions form the Jing-Jin-Ji megalopolis and the national capital region of China. Beijing is a global city and one of the world's leading centers for culture, diplomacy, politics, finance, business and economics, education, research, language, tourism, media, sport, science and technology and transportation. It is home to the headquarters of most of China's largest state-owned companies and houses the largest number of Fortune Global 500 companies in the world, as well as the world's four biggest financial institutions by total assets. It is also a major hub for the national highway, expressway, railway, and high-speed rail networks. For a decade before the COVID-19 pandemic, the Beijing Capital International Airport was Asia's busiest airport, 2009 to 2019, and the second busiest airport in the world, 2010 to 2019. In 2020, the Beijing subway was the fourth busiest and second longest in the world. The Beijing Daxing International Airport, Beijing's second international airport, is the largest single-structure airport terminal in the world. Combining both modern and traditional style architectures, Beijing is one of the oldest cities in the world, with a rich history dating back over 3 millennia. As the last of the four great ancient capitals of China, Beijing has been the political center of the country for most of the past 8 centuries, and was the largest city in the world by population for much of the second millennium CE. With mountains surrounding the inland city on 3 sides, in addition to the old inner and outer city walls, Beijing was strategically poised and developed to be the residence of the emperor and thus was the perfect location for the imperial capital. The city is renowned for its opulent palaces, temples, parks, gardens, tombs, walls and gates. Beijing is one of the most important tourist destinations of the world. In 2018, Beijing was the second highest earning tourist city in the world after Shanghai. Beijing is home to many national monuments and museums and has 7 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, the Forbidden City, Temple of Heaven, Summer Palace, Ming Tombs, Zucudian, and parts of the Great Wall and the Grand Canal, all of which are popular tourist locations. Saihiyuans, the city's traditional housing style, and hutongs, the narrow alleys between Saihiyuans, are major tourist attractions and are common in urban Beijing. Beijing's public universities make up more than 1/5 of double first-class universities, and many of them consistently rank among the best in the Asia-Pacific and the world. Beijing is home to the 2 best C9 League universities, Tsinghua and Peking, in Asia and Oceania region and emerging countries. Beijing CBD is a center for Beijing's economic expansion, with the ongoing or recently completed construction of multiple skyscrapers. Beijing's Zhongguancun area is a world-leading center of scientific and technological innovation as well as entrepreneurship. Beijing has been ranked the city with the largest scientific research output by the Nature Index since 2016. The city has hosted numerous international and national sporting events, the most notable being the 2008 Summer Olympics and 2008 Summer Paralympics Games. In 2022, Beijing became the first city ever to host both the Summer and Winter Olympics, and also the Summer and Winter Paralympics. Beijing hosts 175 foreign embassies as well as the headquarters of many organizations, including the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SEO, the Silk Road Fund, the Chinese Academy of Sciences, the Chinese Academy of Engineering, the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, the Central Academy of Fine Arts, the Central Academy of Drama, the Central Conservatory of Music, and the Red Cross Society of China. Over the past 3,000 years, the city of Beijing has had numerous other names. The name Beijing, which means northern capital, from the Chinese characters Bei for north and Jingjing for capital, was applied to the city in 1403 during the Ming dynasty to distinguish the city from Nanjing, the southern capital. The English spelling Beijing is based on the government's official romanization, adopted in the 1980s, of the two characters as they are pronounced in Standard Mandarin. An older English spelling, Peking, was used by Jesuit missionary Martino Martini in a popular atlas published in Amsterdam in 1655. Although Peking is no longer the common name for the city, some of the city's older locations and facilities, such as Beijing Capital International Airport, with the IATA code PEK, and Peking University, still retain the former romanization. The single Chinese character abbreviation for Beijing is Jing, which appears on automobile license plates in the city. The official Latin alphabet abbreviation for Beijing is BJ. The earliest traces of human habitation in the Peking municipality were found in the caves of Dragon Bone Hill near the village of Zukudian in Fangshan district, where Peking man lived. Homo erectus fossils from the caves date to 230,000 to 250,000 years ago. Paleolithic Homo sapiens also lived there more recently, about 27,000 years ago. Archaeologists have found Neolithic settlements throughout the municipality, including in Wangfujing, located in central Peking. The first walled city in Beijing was Jiqing, the capital city of the state of Ji, which was built in 1045 BC. Within modern Beijing, Jiqing was located around the present Gwanganmen area in the south of Xiqing district. This settlement was later conquered by the state of Yan and made its capital. After the first emperor unified China in 221 BC, Jiqing became a prefectural capital, and during the Three Kingdoms period, it was held by Gongsun Zan and Yuan Shao before falling to the Wei Kingdom of Cao Cao. The AD 3rd century Western Jin demoted the town, placing the prefectural seat in neighboring Zhuozhou. During the 16 Kingdoms period, when northern China was conquered and divided by the Wu Hu, Jiqing was briefly the capital of the Xianbei former Yan Kingdom. After China was reunified by the Sui dynasty in 581, Jiqing, also known as Shuojuan, became the northern terminus of the Grand Canal. Under the Tang dynasty, Jiqing as Yuzhou served as a military frontier command center. During the Anxi Rebellion and again amidst the turmoil of the late Tang, local military commanders founded their own short-lived Yan dynasties and called the city Yanjing, or the Yan capital. Also in the Tang dynasty, the city's name Jiqing was replaced by Yuzhou or Yanjing. In 938, after the fall of the Tang, the later Jin ceded the frontier territory including what is now Beijing to the Khitan Liao dynasty, which treated the city as Nanjing, or the southern capital, one of four secondary capitals to complement its supreme capital, Shangjing, modern Baron-left banner in Inner Mongolia. Some of the oldest surviving pagodas in Beijing date to the Liao period, including the Tiananmen Pagoda. The Liao fell to the Jurchen Jin dynasty in 1122, which gave the city to the Song dynasty and then retook it in 1125 during its conquest of northern China. In 1153, the Jurchen Jin made Beijing their central capital, or Zhongdu. The city was besieged by Genghis Khan's invading Mongolian army in 1213 and razed to the ground 2 years later. 2 generations later, Kublai Khan ordered the construction of Dadu, or Daidu to the Mongols, commonly known as Khanbaliq, a new capital for his Yuan dynasty to the northeast of the Zhongdu ruins. The construction took from 1264 to 1293, but greatly enhanced the status of a city on the northern fringe of China proper. The city was centered on the Drum Tower slightly to the north of modern Beijing and stretched from the present-day Chang'an Avenue to the northern part of Line 10 subway. Remnants of the Yuan rammed earth wall still stand and are known as the Tuqing. In 1368, soon after declaring the new Hanggu era of the Ming dynasty, the rebel leader Zhu Yuanzhang captured Dadu/Khanbaliq and razed the Yuan palaces to the ground. Since the Yuan continued to occupy Xanadu and Mongolia, Dadu was used to supply the Ming military garrisons in the area and renamed Beiping, Wade, Giles, Peep Ing, Northern Peace. Under the Hanggu Emperor's feudal policies, Beiping was given to his son Zhu Di, who was created Prince of Yan. Thank you for watching this video. Kindly subscribe to this channel and share this video with your friends and families. See you in the next one.